Okay, here we are. We are live on Facebook. Trippin with Holly and Susan live today with our special guest star, Diana
Woo!
Duncan. All
Hi.
right.
I can't
And I'm
find
just
the camera.
connecting this.
There
I'll
it
be
is.
right back.
Okay, so Holly's messing with her phone, trying to find the live feed so she can share it out. And
Should I do that too?
if you want to, go ahead, try that and see if you can
Okay.
share it out. We will ask you to bear with us because,
I
you
can
know,
only do one thing at once.
this is our first time being live on Facebook, and there are two people out there watching us. Now, one of the things that I'm going to put into the comments is I have a link here as soon as I copy it. And all right.
And I think I shared us
And why
to my
isn't this
personal
letting
page,
me?
and I
It's
think I
not
just
letting me.
shared us.
I don't think it's going to let me comment, which is weird. Holly, this is the issue you had the last time that we were playing with this,
Okay.
that it wouldn't let me
And
type
I went
comments.
on Safari, which is what you told me to, instead of the Chrome.
The Chrome.
I still can't comment.
And I can't either. So it may be an issue with the the software. They've been having some issues with the software. So
Okay.
Doesn't look like I can either.
All right then.
So then here though, I do have my phone right here as well, and I'm going to pull that up. I'm going to go to
Well, I think I've got it shared on Facebook.
okay, there we go. Okay.
There I am. I'm on.
Okay, I've got it up, and I actually can see on my phone that Tom Godagno, Jessica Godagno, and Geraldine Stone are watching. So hey guys, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Hi.
Okay, so our Trippin people know us, and Diana, I actually got a kick out of somebody on your page wrote that they liked the Trippin videos that Holly and I do. So I was really kind of stoked, Holly, to see that. That was kind of cool that somebody was like admitting that they watch our videos.
Yes.
So that was kind of cool. But so they know that we they know us.
Susan yells at me a lot for not staying on point. I know.
Yeah.
I know you're
Well,
all shocked.
This is a chitty chatty thing. So, we're kind of more flexible and open here, Holly. But if I pose a question, I do expect you to answer the actual question as posed to you.
And but, you can expect all you want. But.
Yeah. So, but Diana, why don't you just give us a little overview of who you are and what you write and that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, gee, thanks, Susan. I didn't know this was coming. I write romantic suspense, I write paranormal romance, and I write romantic comedy, depending on what mood I'm in.
What day it is.
And what day it is, and what ideas present themselves. And I've been writing since 1998. Well, it took me 5 years to get published, and I published, was it 5 books with Harlequin, 6 books with Harlequin, and then I went indie. So I've got, I think it's 12 books available now.
Good.
Last time I counted, and in all 3 genres.
Oh, there you go.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's kind of like Holly. Holly has a foot in a number of different genres as well. She's got her romantic comedy, she's got her more serious romance, and she's got her cozy mysteries.
And sometimes I kill people because, I just feel
it's very satisfying, isn't it? Yes, I love killing people.
There are days.
We can get away with that in books. We can manage that.
Yes, yes. And if anybody ever needs help getting rid of the body,
yeah, but our search histories, but we're writers. It's okay.
Really?
No, FBI, don't look at our search histories.
Go away. Yeah.
So actually, though, Di, I was thinking I had a question for you that kind of relates to that, and that is, tell us the strangest story you have about doing research for your romantic suspense books.
The strangest story I have.
I I hope it's the story I'm thinking of, because otherwise I'm going to have to feed you the story.
Right. I
Susan
don't
will tell
remember
the
which story it is. I have a lot of strange ones, but are you thinking of the one where I asked my husband to duct tape me and put me in the trunk of the car?
Yes, that's
See
the
if I
one.
could escape, and the neighbors were all walking by like, what in the hell? Like, don't worry, just book research, no problem.
He's not trying to actually get rid of me. No, don't worry. I'm
There's
safe.
no garbage bags, no chainsaws. You
My
know,
husband's a cop, so I get weird questions from friends, and he just gave up. I'm like, hey, honey, like if I were in the Everglades and you put me in my handcuffs, but I was a cop, could I have a hidden key that the bad guys didn't get? He doesn't even bat an eye. He's like, yeah. And I said, okay, like, if you use this caliber weapon and blow somebody's brains out, how far would they blow out the back of their skull? And he just says, yeah, it's a big one, Holly. And go away. And I'm like, oh, perfect. And so
yeah, I also did. I was standing in line at a coffee shop, and there was a cop ahead of me, and his car was out in front of the coffee shop, and I had my daughter with me. She was about 15 at the time, and I struck up a conversation with him, told him I was a writer, asked him if he would take me out and put me in the back of the cop car and handcuff me to the console back there so I could see if there was any way that I could wiggle my way out or what it was like. And my daughter was just like, oh my God, Mom. Oh, Mom. She wouldn't go to the coffee shop with me for ages after that. So, but
I don't know why our kids don't find us as sweet and amusing as we find ourselves.
They really don't. But, accurate research is important.
It is. And even better if you can embarrass your children at the same time, right?
Right? Yeah.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. You have any other crazy stories that maybe I haven't even heard yet? That was the best one. That was the best one. That was the one I was thinking of.
The duct tape in the car? Or
the getting duct taped and thrown in the trunk of the car. I love that story.
I did ask my husband if I could handcuff him to the bedpost, and he declined. That was the one research thing he was not willing to help me with. I was like, okay.
He doesn't trust you, apparently. Apparently you trust him more than he trusts you then.
Apparently so.
I don't know, though. She kills people. He probably
That's true.
He has a valid reason not to trust her.
Yeah, but if she wanted to do away with him, she would have done it already.
Oh, I don't know. I might keep him around just to kind of jack up his pension a little bit longer
before you do anything to get rid of him.
We have to talk about this before he gets home because, I don't want him to go.
You don't want him. Right? Well, make sure he doesn't watch the replay on Facebook then, too.
Right. Don't give it away. Don't give it away.
That's right. That's right. We did have a reader give an advanced question for you, Di, and this was from Anita, and Anita wanted to know if you had any plans to do another book like The Sword of the Raven, because she just loved that one.
I love that one too. I wrote that book right before I got drastically sick, and I had always planned to make it a quartet. There were going to be 4 books in that series. And then after it took me like 4 years to recover, I had sort of dropped the ball on that. So I just left it and moved on. But someday, I won't say never. Someday I would love to go back and complete that series. Oh, and Holly's
There's Ella.
The dog.
There's Ella.
Don't work with dogs and children. They'll upstage you every time.
They will.
I do have a trilogy coming out maybe next year, hopefully next year. That is a Highlander time travel trilogy. And in the first book, the heroine goes back in time, but in the second 2 books, the Highlander heroes come to our time. So that will be very similar. There's a lot of magic in it. There's a lot of, things that are very similar to Sword of the Raven. So hopefully people will enjoy that one as much.
I'm sure they will. I remember the start of that because actually that started as a challenge between you and me and our other critique partner, Jen. And each of one of us was going to have one of those books.
And it was going to be novellas.
Yes, they're right. They were going to be novellas and not novels. And I think I started it. Jen started hers, but we sort of flitted off, like a squirrel ran by and but you grabbed it then and went on. But that's kind of where you got your start, though, really, right?
The novella turned into like a 400,000 word trilogy, which happens to me a lot.
Yeah, but I mean the whole idea of Highlanders and a certain amount of paranormal, you have roots with that.
Yes, I do. I have Scottish roots. I went to Scotland to research the Sword of the Raven.
Ooh.
And so it really speaks to me. Both my grandmothers were Scottish. One was Scottish, one was Scots-Irish. And so I have a real affinity and a connection to that.
But also, and see, I get to do this because I know you fairly well. We go back a long ways there, Diana Duncan. But tell us your name, Diana Duncan, has roots.
Yes, it does. I was in love with Duncan MacLeod from the Highlander TV show. Yep. And I got my start writing Highlander fan fiction. And I was in a Highlander chat group back in the day before Facebook even existed. And I became friends with one of the gals in there, very close. And I would send her my stories and she would read them. And so she sent me a picture of her in her den in front of this wall of books. And she said, I have read all these books and your stories are better than these books. So you should really write romance. And I'm going, I've been a romance reader since I was 14 years old and discovered a stashed bag of forbidden harlequins in my mom's closet and read them all. And so I thought, well, give it a shot. So she bullied me all the way through the first book, which in the about fourth incarnation became Sword of the Raven. It took me probably 10 or 12 years to get that book to what it actually became. So yeah, it is. That's cool.
But you were writing other books. It's not like you took an entire 10 years to write that one.
Right. Book. I wrote it, set it aside. I shopped it around a little bit. Just when I finished it, the bottom fell out of the paranormal market, of course, naturally. And so that's when I started writing more contemporary romantic suspense because that was one of the things I love to read. So I love to read this. I'll try to write it.
Interestingly enough, I also got my start in fan fiction, not Highlander fan fiction.
I feel like I'm out of the loop here.
See, you didn't write fan fiction.
I know.
I started with the fan fiction, but also the very first romance that I wrote that is, in probably not even on the hard drive anymore. God only knows whatever happened to that one. But the hero in that one was based on Duncan MacLeod.
I didn't know that.
I never even watched that series. So I feel like I'm odd man out here.
You missed something good. Well, if they ever put it on Netflix or whatever, you have something to go and binge and watch because
you can watch it on Amazon Prime, I believe.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
On Amazon Prime.
Yeah. I really always enjoyed that one. There was a lot going on. We've got some other people have come in. Dana is here. Hi, Dana and Lisa and Joanne. And Joanne says, hi, ladies. We're having an issue with the comments. I'm having to find the comments on my cell phone because
I can't see
the software's not working. So when we're done, I'm going to have to contact their support people and just say, hey, the comment thing was not working. But hey, so far so good. Knock on wood. We're not doing too badly. Yeah, we're staying. Our network is staying strong. All that good stuff. So a lot of great stuff. Well, I wanted to see if we can. I want to see if we can show Diana's video that I made for her Survive
you're a techno goddess.
Well, we'll see. Let's see. Don't. Let's not count our chickens before they're hatched here. Let's see what we can do. All right, let's see. All right, well, oh, here we go. Let me get us back here. There we go.
With it because I couldn't hear anything.
There was lots of music on my end, but that's a question. People watching, were you able to hear the music or not? And see, that was something somebody else had said that recently, that they had an issue with that, with getting the music to play on videos and whatnot. I don't know.
Right.
Again,
No, at least on my end,
I can hear it.
You could hear it. Okay, yeah. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. So Diana, right now, survive the night, and let's pop that. Let's get that up here. We'll just at least get there. Oh, beautiful! It's like I know what I'm doing. It's underneath you. Yeah, I know what I'm doing. So survive the night is the first in a series.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about Survive the Night and the series.
Okay, Survive the Night is about a couple who they fell in love, and then Bailey, that's the heroine, saw a news broadcast of a situation where her boyfriend Con was, doing his SWAT cop thing, and it absolutely terrified her. So she decided that she had to break up with him for both of their sakes. And then he comes to the mall where she works in a bookstore, and he tries to convince her to, give him another chance. And at that point, the mall gets taken over by a crew of vicious bank robbers, and they're locked in there for the next 12, 14 hours with these killers. And they have friends, mutual friends who are in the mall, who work in the mall, who are taken hostage. And the bank robbers are going to kill them when they're ready to leave. And so they've got a ticking clock, and they have to work together. She's a pacifist, so she's not very comfortable with using force or violence, but she's got to realize that sometimes you got to do what you got to do. There's 4 brothers in the family. They're Irish. There's Con. Well, Aiden is the oldest. Con is the second one, and then Liam, and then Grady. And Aiden is the rear guard, the SWAT rear guard. And in his book, he and the heroine are stranded on a deserted island. Well, it's kind of deserted.
And that's survive
the hunt.
Right.
Yeah. And they have to survive and find a way. I don't want to give away any spoilers, but they're being hunted.
Spoilers.
Yeah, they're being hunted down, and they have to find a way to work together again and survive this, get off the island, or, get away from these killers. In Liam's book, it is Survive the Fire. He's a bomb squad tech, and he has a K9 partner named Murphy, and he and his heroine are in Las Vegas, and she's being stalked by a crazy person, and this crazy person has planted bombs all around the city of Las Vegas, and they have to disarm them before.
And I gotta say, I love all of them, but the opening to that book, I love the opening to that one. It is just it just grabs you like this and just yanks you in. I love that one. I love the opening to that one.
Thank you. And then the 4th book is Survive the Storm. That's Grady's story. He's a EMT helicopter pilot. And he and his heroine have to save pretty much the whole planet.
The world. Save the world.
A killer virus. And yeah, so and each book is set in a 24-hour time frame, with each chapter being about an hour in the stories.
Right. And you know what I remember too, Di? You came up with that concept just before the TV show 24 came out. And I remember when the TV show came out and you were like, damn it, I just, man.
Yeah, there's really no such thing as an original idea, though, is there? Because there's always some other story.
And there is that synchronicity with it. You know, you come up with the idea and somebody else comes up with the idea at the same time.
When I did Confession of a Party Crasher, there was a movie, Party Crashers, that came out.
That's right. And you did the same thing. Yeah, yours
and I came the book 2 years ago, but their movie came out at the same time as my book. So yeah, same kind of thing.
That's right.
And of course, you know, it makes us look like we're being derivative. Really, it's Hollywood stealing from us.
That's right. That's right. We have Rose came in. Hi, Rose. And Lisa said that she agreed that the beginning to Liam's story is, she said the beginning to Liam's is the best.
Thank you, Lisa.
So, you know, yeah, see, Hollywood, it does. And that's the whole thing. You know, sometimes people think that, oh, well, you know, this idea is similar to that idea. Well, it's not about the idea, right? It's about the execution.
Yeah, years ago, Harlequin did a 5 authors given the first opening line and told us all to run with it and write a short story. And they asked me to do mine in a comedic vein. Somebody else did a historical vein. We were all known in those genres, but it was amazing how divergent someplace that started exactly the same place, how differently we all saw the story.
Right. Right. Well, that was the thing when we were going to do the 3 time travel things. It was like, you know, Di's would be different from mine and Jen's would be different from both of ours and everything else. But that's exactly it. And that was actually one of the things that I kind of wanted to talk about tonight, because I know that both, you know, obviously Diana has written Cops and Holly, I know you have written, you've talked about the fact that you have a cop husband.
Right. And I've written a number of cops. My cops are rarely saving the world. They're more likely to be finding a kid doing a mural on a school and busting them, or just smaller, the one in the PTA trilogy that Once Upon a Thanksgiving we're sort of talking about this week. The one hero is a cop, and he basically is going to schools and doing presentations on public safety. So my cops tend to do more of that kind of copy stuff.
Community policing kind of stuff.
Although I do have a brother who is a bomb squad guy, and I do have another brother who does internet horrible crimes on that. So I do have experience with that, but I choose to write the softer side of police work.
Mm-hmm. I did that in my romantic comedy. Well, I haven't done it yet because it's again another big Irish family with 10 kids, and
that's the way to do it.
Yeah,
that's
one of the brothers is a cop, but in that story, he won't be saving the world. He'll be doing something more along the lines of the community, because it's the context. It's, you know, if you're writing a cop who's in a romantic suspense, you want him to be more hardcore.
More alpha.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily. I mean, cops are kind of alpha anyway, but in a romantic comedy, you see the more familial or community side of them than you do when they're in a life or death situation, because they're going to be a lot more intense when lives are at stake versus
one would hope.
No
Barney Fife. No Barney Fife
is a cop, and he is just very laid back.
Mm-hmm.
He keeps trying to convince the heroine he is not going to arrest her for a murder she didn't commit. But she's not sure. She doesn't think she believes him. So I find him more exasperated than anything else in this story.
Well,
but I love that shows how we can all twist things, though.
Yes.
Was it in your PTA series, Holly, that the one heroine was in trouble for burning down a shed?
My accidental arsonist. Yes.
Yeah.
And so I actually talked to a local judge, help me out on that one. I'm like, you know, how would this work? Because you want it to be close enough that if an attorney or a cop or a judge picks it up and reads it, they're not annoyed. And then I just do my own thing anyways. But
Right.
but yeah, she had spent months redoing her husband's office, and the only thing missing was the couch. And she finally found the perfect couch, put it in, went to celebrate the office was redecorated with him, and found him boffing a secretary, how cliche, on the couch.
On the couch.
So when she divorced him, she wanted the couch and the divorce settlement just because it messed up his office. But would you ever sit on that couch?
Oh, no.
So Carly, and once upon a Valentine's Day, she lit it on fire and accidentally was an accidental arsonist. She didn't mean
Good for
to.
her. Yeah.
So now we know who burned down Cheryl's she shed.
Oh, there it is. Oh, they should have had me on that commercial.
They should have. That would have done. So okay, Once Upon a Valentine. That is in the PTA. Okay, yeah. The PTA moms. I thought so. I mean, I know you've written so many books, and I know a lot about a lot of them. But after a while, even for my own, they kind of all blur.
Oh, yeah.
You kind of like, which book was that again?
I keep a huge file, and it's one cohesive file, because somebody will write and say, oh, I loved your hero Nick, and I'll say, I have no idea who that is. I don't know what book it was.
Nick, did I write a Nick?
So then I can just go into search in this master document and pull it up, and it works. Yeah, it makes my life so much easier, because it has gotten to the point where I've done enough that sometimes they blur.
All the time. It's like, what color were his eyes? What was his middle name? Yeah. You have to go back and look.
The Bible. That's why it's Holly keeps the full Holly Jacobs Bible. Shanae came in. Hi, Shanae. How you doing? Hey, if anybody out there has questions, do give us, let us,
write only it. Susan can see them at this point.
I'm looking at them. I'm looking at them on my phone if people were, but I haven't seen any well, I've seen a few comments. I've seen, oh, Joanne, yeah, here was a comment from Joanne that I had missed. Joanne did hear the music on the video, so
good.
It did work. So now we know that worked. But if anybody out there has questions for anybody here, pop them in the comments, because otherwise we'll just keep chatting, because that's never an issue for any of us to just chit chat.
I think anybody who's watched our videos is pretty much aware of. By the way, somebody watched your favorite color, blue or black ink pen, and actually went so far as to post me a picture of what type of pens she liked.
Oh,
I'm like, now that is precise.
There you go.
She was right on it.
We do have a question. Woohoo! We have a question. Lisa wants to know, when is Di's next book due? Not like she hasn't been busy or anything.
Well, that's a really good question, Lisa. I will
put the pressure on her.
Yeah. I will probably not work through the holiday season. So I'm guessing about first week in January, second week in January. I think I will pull out that Highlander time travel. It's 2 2/3 done. So all I have to do is finish the last third of the last book. And I'm hoping that won't take too long. And so I'm hoping that by maybe March, I can get that out. And then I have a Christmas book I'm writing for my Survive series. And it was supposed to be out this Christmas, and then things happened. So that might be a Christmas in July.
Hawaii happened.
Oh, that's a shame. Hawaii happening.
Yeah.
But frankly, now is the time, I think, to be writing on it, because you have all the mood enhancers that you need, all the Christmas inspiration that you need all around you. Where if you try to write a Christmas book in the spring or in July, you're like, okay, I got to get into Christmas.
Frankly, you can start Christmas right after Halloween and have.
I was going to say, frankly, I'm not in a Christmas mood now. I was at the store over the weekend and I was looking at some Christmas stuff, and I just was like, no, I just walked away. I'm not in the mood to even think about it yet.
I have very strict rules.
Yeah, Thanksgiving. See, in my house growing up, when Santa Claus appeared at the end of the Macy's parade,
Mm-hmm.
then it was Christmas season. Then you were allowed to sing Christmas carols. Then, but not before that.
I am
Right.
totally with you. The day after Thanksgiving, I don't care. I'll get my music out. I'll start that.
Yep.
And then by New Year's Day, I want it all gone.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, put it away. See, I'm that way too. Like it's the idea, it's the putting away part that is so annoying. So like I want to put it away immediately. It's like pack it all up, put it away.
Well, we bought a few years back a monorail system that comes out and goes in the front room. And it is such a hassle to put up. And I was already asked by the Minions yesterday because they remember it now. When are we getting the monorail out? I'm like, oh, not till after Thanksgiving. And there was very little enthusiasm for it. But I don't think I can escape getting it out. But it's like hours of putting it all
assembly.
together.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, because we've got the contemporary and we've got the Polynesian, so it's a whole Disney monorail system. It's a thing.
My trees have been shrinking over the years. I started with a 7-foot tree, and then I went down to a 5-foot tree. Now I've got like a 2.5-foot tabletop tree. So, and with Fraser, my kitty, around, that's, putting up a big tree is probably an exercise in futility anyway, because he's climbing it, knocking it over, and taking all the ornaments. And he does that with my little tree anyway, but at least it's not such a disaster.
It's right. Yeah, if it tips over, it's not such a big deal. Lisa wanted you to know that her birthday is March 25th, so she thinks you releasing a book would be a really good birthday present for her. So there you have it.
I will try. I will get on that. I will try to make that date. That's a good deadline to have.
And Dana is worse than the rest of us. She puts her Christmas day decorations away 2 days after Christmas. She doesn't even wait to New Year's. She's like, but she says she doesn't have kids, so she'd just rather get her house back in order.
I'm sort of with you. Mine has always gone by New Year's Eve because I really want to bring in the new year with the house back in order, and that's
back to the routine, right? Yes, back to the routine.
I enjoy that. And I will confess that like when kids go back to school, there's a certain amount of post-holiday glee that happens. Like, peace out, everybody.
Yes, that happens. That happens when you have children and you work at home and the kids go. But, those of us who, now have day jobs outside the house, it's like, oh, man, got to go back to work.
Lisa, if you put the note on the door, unless somebody's bleeding, unless something is on fire, or unless the police are out front, do not disturb me while I'm writing.
There you go. Lisa said she's Jewish, and it's a nice perk to just have a menorah and candles, and that's it. There's not this extreme decorating.
Judaism could probably recruit a lot of people with that as their slogan. Come over to us. And get rid of the fuss. That's even the slogan.
It rhymes and everything.
No, I think it's a thing, guys.
Come over to us. Forget the fuss. There you go. Okay, so there you go. So Lisa, there you have it. You have to start recruiting people to Judaism that way. So forget this crazy Christianity with all the crazy decorations. And Dana is agreeing with you, Holly. She loves the concept of having it all squared back away and ready for the new year. Despite the fact that the software is not working with the comments, this is working out just fine with me with the cell phone here. So we're at least managing to communicate with our people out there. I love it.
Last time I could see the comments on the side. I can't even see the comments.
Yeah, something's not right with the software. But again,
but I think it's cool.
We're making it work. Well, what I do love is the screen that we're able to have here and how we're able to do all these cool things like this,
Susan the guru.
Susan just likes tech toys, I just like toys to play with. So
yeah,
get my email.
She likes like office supplies and
yes, exactly. Yep. Well, I had to pop up my come home to the holidays with the Hawkins folks because like Diana said, she had the plan for the 10 the 10 Irish family. That was the only way, because like you guys wrote series, and I in the beginning could not figure out for the life of me how the heck did you do a series in romance, because we have to have a new hero and heroine every book, because that's the nature of romances. But then, along came the Hawkins, and I was like, now I figured it out. They just make this big, giant family,
Well, and even like my Perry Square series, it was just, sometimes I write them knowing I'll have books that are connected to it. And sometimes it just happens. I wrote a book, I loved it, but I love the little community I created. So it made sense to set the next one there. And it was an inadvertent series.
Those secondary characters pop up and demand to have a story of their own. And that's what's happening with my Survive series. So, yeah, it's like now the secondary characters are saying, hey, okay, you finished with the brothers. Now what about us?
Yep. Yeah, and that's so much fun.
Cool. Very cool. Well, ladies, we have been 36 minutes, believe it or not. So
nice when you're having fun.
It does. Okay, so we'll put a last call for questions or comments from anybody out there in live land who are watching. So if you got a question, speak now or ask later. Ask later after this is over. But yeah, we'll hold for questions. Hold, please.
One of us should sing, not me.
Holly, we'll let Holly do it.
I was actually up in the studio the other day, and I did not realize someone had come in, and I had been playing my music and realized I'd been singing when I spotted them. It's a huge studio, and there's different sections. They were up in the front section, I was in the back, and I'm like, so was I singing out loud? And she said, maybe just a little. I was like,
well, you're having a good time. And that's, I tend to sing along as well. People who drive past me in my car may see me doing this and singing. And,
I was on my way home.
That's the benefit of that.
I was on the QEW one day, coming back from Harlequin, as a matter of fact. And it was backed up, like not moving at all. And I was getting more and more annoyed. When you just feel that like tension. I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I put it was not my iPhone at that time. It was just my iPod on shuffle. And like every song that came on was a song I liked. And so I was singing along and just having kind of a blast with it. And the guy next to me, since we were creeping, started to laugh, and he leaned over, and then he started bebopping in his car. I'm like, oh, this is so much fun. Like, we could start a whole thing. So.
Well, it does make the time go better. And like you said, there's no point in sitting there and getting just aggravated.
Yeah, these days I do a lot of podcasts when I travel.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, and those are a lot of fun. My daughter turned us on to Stuff You Should Know. And it's just such a weird thing. And last trip to Philadelphia, I was with my husband, and we listened to one on foot binding, and it like scarred me for life.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's stuff I needed to know. And then they did one on sea monkeys, and absolutely ruined sea monkeys for me forever. So
yeah, they're not really monkeys.
Well, I knew that they were krill, but the inventor of it just was not such a nice human being. And so it's kind of like, oh, that's just sad. So if you buy them today, they're not the same. And they tend to come to life because he had a way of preserving them that he did not pass on. So
like freaky science stuff.
No, just weird stuff. The foot binding was kind of odd, but they do like some historical stuff. They did some on like a Russian party that stuff happened to, like mystery stuff. So they've pretty much anything that appeals to them, they will do a podcast.
Kind of like us.
Yeah.
Talk about it.
We'll have to forward this to them and say, hey, invite us on, because we would do really well with you guys.
There you go. Stuff you should know. Di, do you have any podcasts that you like to listen to?
Not really. No, I'm more into watching things than I am listening. I seem to, like, when I'm listening to things, I sort of like drift off in my own. Yeah, and then I come back a couple seconds later and like, what did they say? And then I have to
what did I miss? Yeah.
Yeah. I mostly just watch a lot of cooking shows on the Food Network and HGTV, and that's kind of my guilty pleasure relaxation thing. And then I have all kinds of projects that my husband can do because it's like, I think we're on HGTV today, and he's like, no, do that.
Don't turn that channel on. No.
Threatens to block it all the time. He's like, I'm gonna block that channel.
He's turning off the cable on you, so you can't watch that anymore.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen some of your painting projects and your other stuff. So Lisa said she's not a good listener, totally visual. I'm the same way. Like, believe it or not, I have never done an audiobook. I have listened to short clips from audiobooks, and maybe in the car, you know, like, because I will do podcasts if I'm doing a long drive, but I'm the same way. Like, I am a visual person. I am totally, like, when I used to teach, I used to tell kids, you know, turn on the TV set in your mind and like vision and see it. And it's like, what if you don't have a TV set? And I'm like, oh, you don't have a TV set in your head? Oh, you poor child.
Well, if you're going to try an audiobook, the Harry Potter ones are amazing. The narrator is Jim Dale, and I would listen to the man read a phone book. Like
J.D. Robb audiobooks are wonderful too. Susan Erickson narrates those, and she has Rourke's accent down like you.
Oh, I haven't done it.
Me either. Now that would tempt me to try it. Hey, yeah. Lisa's gonna make us all. Lisa said she lives near Gaines Magnolia Silos. We're coming to visit you, Lisa, because we want to go to Magnolia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that would be cool.
She has like an extra room.
Is there a guest room? Do you have room for some writers to hang out and go see that? That would be cool. I think I would. I do enjoy that. That is what I do miss some of those. But it's certain ones that, and it's that I enjoy the personality as well. The personality of the people.
That
it's kind of like books and characters, right? It's the characters that attract us. So
it is.
Lisa says we can come on down. Lisa's inviting us.
Lisa, I don't know if you're ready for that.
Yeah. The writer invasion. I don't know if Waco is ready for that. Never mind, Lisa. I don't know if Waco can do it. She said the kids are gone, and so she has room. So there you go. Hey, Trippin. There you go, Holly. That would be quite a trip. We could record a lot of videos between here and Waco, Texas. My goodness. That would be quite the thing.
That would be such a long drive.
It would be. I think like that's a plane. That's a plane trip. I'm sorry.
As far as I could drive.
Yeah. That's a flight instead. Yeah. All right. Well, you know, ladies, it has been really great fun. I have really enjoyed this.
It has been a blast.
I hope the folks out there have enjoyed it. And so we'll have to see if we should do some more Trippin' Live. Diana, thank you for being our guinea pig.
Thank you so much, Diana. It was awesome to get to hang with you.
Yes, I love hanging out with you guys too. We should do it just for fun.
Hey, there is that. It is. You like don't broadcast it anywhere. We just hang out in the behind the scenes, but
then accidentally broadcast it out and get into trouble.
Well, the whole thing is, this is kind of how Holly and I ended up doing Trippin', right? Because like we do when we drive. I mean, we talk the whole way. So we were like, and also I had been bugging Holly to do something just like this, a Facebook Live where we could interview people and stuff. And I couldn't pin her down. She's so busy all the time. So I got her. I'm like, okay, we are going to this workshop.
And then you added some complexity to it because like 5 a.m. I'm always up and going. But now Susan's got to go to a job. So it's just like, I know.
How dare you need to keep a roof over your head, Susan, and need a day job. It's all your fault.
Yeah.
It just gets worse every day. I kind of meet myself coming and going.
I think you must, but so once I realized that I was going to have her captive in the car again, I was like, "That's it. We're filming in the car." That
not
will
the same way Diana did it with duct tape, though, in the trunk.
Yeah,
no, we did not do that. We did not. There was none of that. Although I have to say, when we get together, and that's the funny thing too. When writers get together, it can get crazy, and it's funny because we're generally introverts.
Mm-hmm.
We're generally not really crazy people, but when we get together with our own people,
Susan, speaking
own
for herself,
time.
Diana and I are just sane and sweet as can be.
right? Yeah.
Nobody ever overheard me at a restaurant like plotting to kill anyone or anything. I mean, that never happens.
No, not at all.
Not at all. All right,
Right.
ladies. Hey, thank you so much. And
Have
hey,
a good
folks
night.
out there, Lisa, Diane, Bobby just came in, and sorry, Bobby, we're getting ready to go. But we appreciate all you folks who came in live. We really do appreciate you hanging with us. And hey, we're going to have a rebroadcast of this. It will be on Facebook, and we hope you'll share it with other people. Because, hey, next time we want even more people in here. So, hey, thanks for tripping live with us. We'll see you next time.
Where's the camera? There it is. Bye.
I never